particles. Grammatical cases. Grammatical case particles. Ah!
And that's the response I usually get from that sort of thing. It could have a little bit to do with my presentation, but I think it has a lot more to do with the content, because people don't seem to understand particles, and a lot of people have trouble with it. So this is going to be a quick and dirty explanation of Japanese case particles in grammar. I'll probably get things wrong, so if you notice it, just let me know, and I'll fix it. So what are particles? Well, there's several definitions. Two popular ones seem to be, well, first, particles are words that are not conjugated in any case. Secondly, particles don't fit into any other grammatical category. Now these are both kind of vague definitions, which kind of goes along with the fact that linguistics is not necessarily a hard science, and there's no unifying theory behind everything. So there's no set hard rules for every single language about particles. While they're hard to define in English, examples are to, not, the, among other things. Now, what are grammatical cases? Cases are grammatical categories and are organized according to the Latin name given for each one. Now, if you don't speak Latin, this can get kind of confusing. And if you don't know the jargon, this can also get kind of confusing. So basically, the idea is that grammatical cases indicate what a word does in relation to the whole idea that is a sentence. That's it. Some examples of common cases. Nominative. It indicates the subject of the sentence, or the subject of the verb. Accusative indicates the object of a verb, or the direct object. The dative case indicates the indirect object. In other words, to whom or for whom do you do something. The genitive case indicates possession. The illative case indicates motion into or towards somewhere. The locative case indicates a location where something happens. For an even longer list of cases, there are very many. Check out the website I have listed here in the subtitles, or in the description. Examples of case indicators in English. Personal pronouns. Think of the difference between I, me, and my, or he, him, and his. Use them in a sentence, and I'll give you 10 seconds to think about what they do. Got it? So, I and he are both nominative case particles. They're always in the subject of the sentence, and they always say who's doing the action. Me and him are both accusative case particles, or pronouns, pronouns. And they indicate the direct object of the sentence. He can kill him, but him cannot kill he, if you catch my drift. That doesn't make sense. My and his are both genitive case particles. They're possessive. You understand where I'm going here? Alright. We also use prepositions to indicate case in English. For example, to, as in I'm going to school, is an illative case indicator. At, as in I'm studying at school, is a locative case indicator. To indicate the genitive case in English, we use the apostrophe s, or sometimes we use of. Lastly, a lot of our common cases are indicated strictly by word order. There's no special word in English that will indicate a case. But as we know, there's a big difference between the boy kicked the ball, and switching the order, the ball kicked the boy. You know which one does which action because the order they come in the sentence. So in English, the first noun phrase usually is the nominative case, and the one after the verb is in the accusative case. Very good. So what are case particles in Japanese? Japanese case particles are words that are not conjugated, and they indicate the grammatical case of their antecedents. In other words, it's a grammatical structure that indicates what the previous word or phrase or clause has to do with the whole idea or the sentence. Now, to give you an idea how this works, let's take, for example, a language that is infamous for its cases. Latin. Well, there's other ones, but let's take Latin for a minute, because the names come from Latin. Nominative, accusative, etc., etc., etc. Now, in Latin, you have to conjugate words to indicate their case. And this involves a lot of memorization on the student's part. Now, it works, but I think that the Japanese system is a lot simpler overall. It's incredibly easy, in fact. But because it's so easy, they never teach it to you, and so it gets to be a problem. Because when you take Latin, they'll focus on it, they'll make you learn it, they'll teach it to you, and you'll understand it. It's hard, but you'll get it. In Japanese, it's so easy, they don't even usually bother with it, and so people just get confused. So let's set the record straight a little bit, shall we?